they don't get banned out. And this is really strong point of drafting. I mean, your offlaner he's just an offlaner. He's not.
All right, quickly, while the timer is going down for LGD, I knew they weren't going to get raised out. We knew that was probably going to be first phase banned. Surprisingly, they banned it themselves, obviously, because of that first pick, whatnot. What are they going to pick up here? I took too long to ask my question.
They're going to pick up Tusk and Nature's Prophet.
Wow, you guys are so good.
I think their go-to combo was usually Tiny Nature's Prophet. They ran that multiple times. They love that dual lane, and Tusk is just like the tiny replacement here. That's going to be their 4 and 3 position. I think it's one thing LGD do less than other teams is flex heroes. Like almost always, it's Faith Beyond playing this Nature's Prophet. It is technically a flex hero, but most likely that's just not how they're going to run it.
Yeah, Nature's is picked up quite often against these kind of ranged annoying heroes, like the Razor and the Viper. We see Nature's a lot as a response. It just seems to do very well, like controlling them with Sprout and keeping at range, and they typically struggle to deal with a lot of like the summons and stuff. Like this Nature's Prophet, he gets a 15-minute shard, and it's so hard for like most heroes in general to deal with them because they are so powerful. Their health pool is so massive, they do a lot of damage. You just send them down a lane, and that's just something they have to deal with.
You said you didn't really want to see the Bristle. You thought it was a bit of a snooze hero, but it is going to come out. How do you like OG's opening of Viper Bristle compared to the Tusk Nature's Prophet?
It's very OG. The first pick Viper is just like they're going to do that, and I think Bristle, that itself is picked up because of the Nature's Prophet. Like they know this Nature's Prophet is going to be an issue that has to be addressed, and if they don't pick Bristle here, it gets banned. So in some ways they pick up 2 cores, although they do occasionally put the Viper on a support role. So I don't mind it. I think overall PSG.LGD, like to me, their draft just covers more bases from their opening. Like Bristle Viper doesn't sound like a good opening by itself, but when you look at the Nature's Prophet on the other side, it's something like, okay, you see what happened.
Where would you like this Viper to go, or do you like the fact that it could still potentially be flexed into a support?
I probably like to see it offlane. I just think it's good there. There was a lot of criticism, I think, around the Riyadh finals when Spirit was picking Viper twice in the finals, and it was like, oh, like what? Like Viper, his Collapse isn't making plays. Like you want him to like solo carry the game, but to be honest, like if you watch those games, he destroyed LGD early. I think this matchup goes 2 ways. I think Viper is very good as an offlaner, and he will put a lot of pressure onto Arme, but the other side of it is Arme is a god. He is so good. Arme, I watched Collapse kill Arme's lone druid like twice. He killed his bear twice as well. He was so rich, and yet Arme by like 15-20 minutes, he was like 2nd in net worth, super recovered. It was like he had never lost his lane at all. The man is a god. It's very, very hard to pressure him.
I know it's very specific to that game, but what enabled Arme to kind of come back like that?
I remember his team making moves, right? And then he gets like he needs the triangle space.
Yeah. Nothing to say, I think, is a great space to create. Like, he's like one of these mid players that doesn't get hyped up because he doesn't like solo carry games. It's usually like he's more setting up Arme for success, whereas I think a lot of other teams have mid laners that get to do flashy stuff. But he played, I think, Tango both those games. He was just banned here, but like he's just this big kind of team fighting playmaker who loves to basically set up Arme for success.
Well, we have some more picks coming out here. It's Earthshaker Coddle OG.
Shaker. So that's the Seth Shaker, right? That's what he played in one of their previous games yesterday, I think, and I was like, why is he rushing an Octarine core?
This is kind of cool. I like these second phase bans where like they start off like, okay, they're going to target Amara, and then they get to this second phase and like, okay, Seb doesn't have his hero. We know he's the other player who has a smallish hero pool. We're going to target him. Like Io Wind Ranger bans. Let's just get rid of these heroes and force him. Like Shaker's a weak hero. There's a reason no one's playing Shaker. This hero does nothing in the lane. It's a big liability. Like your lanes are going to feel really weak when you've got a Shaker in your team.
I think I'm very not pleased with OG's draft in terms of like greed. I look at these heroes, like Viper is not a mobile hero. He doesn't get a blink and make plays. He's not fast at getting around the map. He does want to kind of stay in an area if he can. Bristle is going to want to take the triangle area. He wants stacks. He wants the jungle. He wants to farm his Ags, and that's his timing to go. Coddle, he likes to sit in a lane and push waves. Shaker, he wants to sit in a lane and farm his Blink Dagger. I know in the last game that Seb played Earthshaker, he didn't go Blink Dagger at all, so he might just be playing a very like sacrificial Shaker that doesn't do that.
Do you think you can play Earthshaker that way? Is there an impact late game of Earthshaker being like that?
Potentially.
Okay.
This is something that we should want to see played out
no
a bit
one else
more.
It's hard to say, like, can you play Shaker that way? Like, no one's playing Shaker right now. And I think there's obviously a reason for it. Like, it's not like some hero I think that's, like, underrated or, like, it's a bit forgotten, but the hero, like, there's just way better options to like the Enigma type heroes that just do more and have a better laning stage, more impact. There's items they can go for, like the Wraith Pack, that you're not gonna, Shaker, you still, I think, just have to go Blink typically, or I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, I guess we're going to see it play out, but we haven't really touched on LGD's side. Winter Wyvern and Jug here. Jug being that last pick on the second phase.
Jug's a weird hero. He's like this combination of physical and magical damage, because if you get the Maelstrom, the Shard and stuff, your spin is doing like quite a lot. You do a lot of AoE damage by like Omni Slashing and having all those procs go off, which is very nice. He obviously provides healing. Like between that and the Wyvern, they might be able to go group up and push some objectives. If this Earthshaker is super poor, he's not going to have Blink and they won't be able to contest it. You want a way to sustain yourself when taking objectives, because Coddle's going to be like spamming you out. Viper's going to be trying to spam you out. Right now, OG have very good tower defense.
Okay. What do you feel is going to be missing then on the side of LGD? Or even OG? Either or. I guess LGD is last pick, so we'll start with OG.
When they're looking for a mid laner, they need something that doesn't get too hard counted. To me, they need more playmaking. Like right now, the Shakers, they're only stun, they're only catch, and yeah, it's good, but it's probably going to be Seb playing. He's not going to get a whole lot of farms, so having that mid laner, I mean, Puck's being banned out. These kind of, the typical Spirit type heroes can work. Batrider is banned, so
yeah. Ember's still in the pool though.
Yeah, I think something with some kind of playmaking potential, because you've got these side lane cores. I assume Viper and Bristle, at least right now, they look like the cores. Heroes that are just going to farm and sit in their lanes. So
all reliable Void Spirit. Am I right, guys? All reliable Void Spirit.
I have never heard you say that.
Is there anything he can't do? He can gank, he can kill, he's so much mobility. If there's anything missing in your draft, it's usually filled by Void Spirit.
There's one team who may pull it back out. The OG do play Storm Spirit too.
Oh god, that would be really scary. I mean, it'd be great with the Coddle.
Yeah, they played it yesterday. I don't think it was with Coddle, but like they're one of the few teams who still seem to believe in this hero. So
they did. They played it. It was Marcy, Io, Storm, Faceless Void, and Bloodseeker.
Okay. Do you say Io?
Yes.
That's like the Coddle replacement. Anything that just like pumps mana into Storm was always like the pairing that people would put him with. So that fits an idea there. They do want like a way to jump the Wyvern and the Nature's Prophet. These backline heroes just cause problems for them. Like I think Void Spirit with an Ags with the AoE Silence would work for that. I think what you're saying with Storm would work for that.
And there's no catch really for LGD's side, because I was about to say it's almost like both teams right now, their drafts are kind of slightly lacking the same thing, if that's something they're going to really prioritize. So
well, it was actually a Night Stalker last ban. Are you expecting that one? What do you think the reason behind taking that hero out of the pool is?
It's just that backline jump. He's going to give so much vision with the ult. Yeah. And then they just see all their key targets. They know where they want to go in fights. It's disruptive and annoying.
It's on a mid hero, but is flex potential for OG. They could send Coddle mid. There's Bristle, Viper. These heroes can go other lanes, but
the one spirit we didn't mention.
We
idiots. Weird.
I said it. I was like, Ember's still in the pool.
All right, so you went Ember, I went Storm, 2 and Void. There we go.
There we go.
We found the best panelist. She's so good.
Good thing they didn't do Earth Spirit mid,
Oh yeah, then we actually would have just been wrecked.
I mean, that's just an Ori thing. I don't know if that's coming out on OG.
Well, I was going to get you guys to try and predict the last one, but LGD Enchantress.
Wyvern mid, okay.
Okay, Wyvern mid.
I like it.
Or it could be a core. Oh no, it is. Yeah, you're right.
Yep. Ench, last pick. How are we feeling about the round out of LGD's draft?
I just want to run over this lane. I think I playing Viper into Ench lanes, honestly, I think is miserable. Like it's like the dream 5 position against Viper, and I think this is looking really rough for Amar. Particularly. Like I think Ami just like has the dream game here.
I think Amar really needs to win his lane, and then BZM and Tiger need to link up with the Ember and Coddle, and they just need to make plays and kill people, because if they don't hold LGD's momentum, I think they'll just get run over.
Alrighty, well, it is our first series, game 1 of the day. We're going to jump into it with Lacoste and Gareth.
Thank you so much. Right, here we are, LGD with some serious laning power here, Lacoste. OG, do they have what it takes to get to their item timings?
Looking at this Viper pick, Coddle, Bristleback, Shaker, it's very greedy from OG. They will need time. There's going to be a lot of stacking. Looking at how they can invade jungle, maybe they can try to steal like big camp, but they can't kill the Ancient. So that means that Bristleback is going to be able to take the Ancient stacks. So maybe PSG.LGD wants to go in, block it, so that there's not going to be any stacking. A bit weaker in the lane. I'm a little worried as well what Panel talked about. This Viper lane playing into Enchantress, playing into the Juggernaut, so you have a lot of sustain. Both of them have a healing mechanic, and also you have ways to dispel things. So this lane might be a bit difficult. This is a first phase Viper, so that means that it's gonna get countered.
Time to get ourselves into the game as we start the day off here with LGD versus OG. And you know, the power of the three-letter names, right? We've got ATF, we've got SEB, we've got PSG.LGD.
All three letters.
You know, who else is there out there?
Who else is there? FBZ, BSJ, Zai. There's way too many.
Did you say BSJ?
Yeah, there's way too many good players with three letters, man. I wish I had it. And into the game we go.
It's not too late to rename Lacoste.
Nah, I can't do it.
Just change your name to, you know, LCS or something. LST.
That sounds miserable, Gary. Smoke from PSG.LGD. We have Tusk starting with the Boots of Speed on Jin Q. One of the better Tusk players out there. Him and Kret definitely two names that pop up every single time the hero is picked. They know how to utilize it. A little, I'd say, weak in the lane because the hero does consume a lot of mana. You need constant clarities, mangoes running, but this also means that they're gonna be pulling the wave. Their level 1 is really strong with Blade Fury. You have nothing to say on Wyvern, Arctic Burn, and yeah. Speaking of counters for Bristleback in this game, there are many. You do have tag team. Once that's maxed out, you just don't feel the tankiness of the Bristleback, and also percentage-based damage from Arctic Burn. That's always going to be something that Bristle needs to care about.
Absolutely does.
The battle begins.
Yuragi gonna wander himself up towards the top rune spot where Faith Bian is already there, taking the bounty rune under the nose of BZM's Ember Spirit. And Ember, a hero that we've talked about a lot over the past couple of months. I know the topic came up in Riyadh where he was like 1-5, 1-6, doing very poorly. But at this event, I believe he's 3-1, and his KDA is one of the highest so far, like 13.5. So looking like a hot pick potentially.
One of the heroes that like teams always go for Ember Spirit whenever you feel like, oh, there's not enough lockdown, which they don't have. You don't care too much about rotation from the Tusk. Like Nature's Prophet, I want to see what the item build on Fate Beyond's going to be. I wouldn't mind seeing Orchid this time around to have some extra lockdown for Ember Spirit, because they are a bit limited in that department.
That'd be good, yeah. So when it's a good Ember game, you
it's
feel
a good
comfortable.
Ember game, yeah.
Well, so far, 4-1 for the Wyvern, 2-0 Ember Spirit. Nothing to say coming out on top early days. And here's what you were talking about, right? Jin Q not only dragging the creep wave, but also blocking camps.
Camp.
Yeah.
If he wanted to be even more efficient, he could have killed the courier. Maybe stacked one extra camp, I don't know.
So many things on this checklist to do.
Just kidding.
Down bottom, the Wise Enchantress getting fissured out. Arme already spending the spin. So far, it doesn't look too bad for this Viper Earthshaker. They've done a lot of damage to the Jug and the Enchantress.
They did pull the lane back with Fissure, so they had lane very close to their tower at the start, having extra armor, extra regeneration. It's a lot of pressure.
And spin, a pretty long cooldown level 1. We need Arme to get to level 3 to really feel super safe in this lane. But I guess once Y gets his levels as well, we'll have these creeps chasing down the Viper, causing some chaos. Looks like BZM more than recovering. Getting towards dead even with the Winter Wyvern. And he'll have his bottle being delivered by that courier very shortly. While Yuragi, trapped inside the ice shards of Jin Q. Illuminate comes with his tag team doing some serious damage. They don't want to commit though.
Jin Q had 5 Quell Spray charges, did not want to go. There's a good synergy in this lane because you have Nature's Call with tag team, so that's a lot of damage. Nothing to say. We'll refill the bottle on a mid lane, and so will BZM.
Get themselves refilled up. Yuragi has the refill from the Kotl. Tiger going to give him that Chakra Magic and a Tango. Give him that staying power in the lane. Jin Q still just looking for an opening to go, but they've got this wave right in front of their tier 1, so that's free farm for the Prophet. While the Fissure down bottom does block Arme into an awkward position there, and he actually spins to get rid of those poison attacks, but it's something Seb has noticed. Now they know it's on cooldown, and it was still level 1.
And they have a lot of mana. There's 2 mangoes on Earthshaker and 2 on Viper. There is a healing salve as well, not gonna use it. There's gonna be healing from Enchantress if necessary, and also dropping down the healing ward.
So were you expecting this lane to go much better for LGD? Has OG managed to kind of settle the score here better than expected?
I mean, this is why they picked it. They picked Enchantress, but there is still a sentry, so the big camp is blocked. Enchantress not getting any good creeps. Usually you would want to get this mana burn guy, so you have Aura and also burning mana on Shaker and Viper is pretty good.
Yeah, that Viper, super mana reliant. Loves to be spamming out the poison attacks.
Finally unblocks the big camp.
Gets it done. Fisher onto Army.
He's out of mana. This might be the first blood.
He's only got one stick charge. The poison attacks go in. That enchant though slowed the Viper down just enough. And now Army and Y, a little bit of a turnaround as they spin back towards Seb. They won't be able to finish anybody off though. Nature's Attendants will now heal the Juggernaut up. They've got that double heal in the lane for the sustain. Incredible against heroes like Viper.
Jin-Q going for the Water Rune, stealing it away from BZM.
Yeah, so the double there for nothing to say, right? You got the bottom one. Jin-Q guards top. So no refill for the Ember. And we do see Kotl kind of wandering around in the jungle. They've got double Dire Wars
Seb
watching for the stacks, but in comes Seb in the mid lane. BZM straight in towards nothing to say. The Illuminate clips him, and this Wyvern looking pretty dead. Pops the Fairy Fire, the bottle charge too. Faith Beyond going to come in, but it's not fast enough. Wyvern drops, BZM will have to lose his life in the exchange though, as Seb and Tiger look to split and run, but Shaker caught inside the ice shards. Down you go for a 2-for-1.
I'd say that's a good trade for PSG.LGD. They're getting some extra levels on both Tusk and Nature's Prophet. Wyvern did manage to drive them closer to them, so in the end, a good trade. I'm not sure if Wyvern will be aware of the Observer Ward that was placed on the mid lane, on the high ground, so potentially they could try to go in and kill him one more time before level 6, because Ember will hit a little faster level 6 than Wyvern.
Yeah, halfway through 5. Looks like those Dire Wards have all gone now around that top jungle area. They have the double vision that has now dissipated. Now we're looking for anyone that was contesting stacks or roaming around as the Tusk does love to do. Jin-Q and Faith Bian though now with a pretty nice wave coming forward. Catapult held at the large camp. So next wave coming in, they could maybe think about the push. We'll see what Uragi and Tiger do to stop that. The Bristlebank very good at clearing out these stacks on his lonesome.
Tiger making some big stacks near the outpost. He's going to stack 3 camps at the same time. That's efficiency. They also have an Observer Ward place, so they're going to see if someone's coming. They can block. One of the supports is probably going to block the entrance when Bristleback is going to be farming that.
Diving Amar, Faith Bian brings the +1. Bonus hero in here to get the kill on the Viper. Earthshaker. Y gets the tower aggro off himself, so now a push in from LGD onto this bottom tier 1 tower. And Earthshaker, not the best hero to really defend, especially once he's already spent his Fisher. This Catapult's going to do some serious damage. I need BZM to arrive. Just with his body, he'll zone them out. Quick little sleight of fist there, and LGD respecting the fact that OG could bring numbers. Straight back up to top for Faith Bian.
And I like the itemization on Fate Beyond this time around. I mentioned the Orchid, but he's going for a different route, something that's gonna give them even more answers to Bristleback. Like, you become tanky, you always have global presence, so you're gonna be in those kills, collecting Urn of Shadow charges, and later on Spirit Vessel as well. Uragi.
He's got
Vanguard
his Vanguard
done. And even more stacks in the jungle. This is gonna be very juicy for Bristleback.
So we assume LGD know about this, right?
Yeah, most definitely. They're pinging it out.
Yeah, they've got that high ground ward, so they see the stacks. Jin-Q is there with his body, seeing everything too. Do they bring 5 heroes to contest this? Because we can only assume that OG will do that as well.
They were thinking about it.
They've definitely got the options, you know, Jug Spin, Splinter Blast. They've got ways of clearing it. There's nothing to say.
Splinter?
Is that a straight up
that's a solo kill?
Oh, what a sick move.
I guess BZM underestimated the damage
Well,
coming
I
out
did.
from Wyvern.
The Ember Illusion, you know, helping out as well. Hitting into the Ember Spirit himself. Well, nothing to say after that first death, making up for it. And it looks like LGD not really in position to contest the stacks as Uragi takes them. Instead, playing into the dire triangle, finding Sep, clearing through the Earthshaker, but the trade-off here with Amar arriving will find the Tusk kill, and now BZM wants to get involved. Faith Beyond, Remnant to the
TP on
pond.
him.
Wyvern comes in from the left-hand side. Faith Beyond trying to throw out his ulti to kill off Amar. Sprouts the Viper, still alive, but the Flame Guard will burn him through. Tiger runs it back in a 2 for 2.
If Nature's Prophet had TP ready, he could have potentially got out, because there is not a single point in Searing Chains at the moment on Ember. A lot of stacks. Look at the net worth on that Bristleback, but nothing to say. He's keeping it close. This is going to be extremely good timing on Witchblade.
Yeah, we had like quadruple large and medium camp stacks there, and Bristleback barely 300 net worth ahead of the Wyvern. Does still have a couple of medium camps to clear through, though, as it looks like Tiger just continually building these stacks up for his squad mates. There's another one, the Warpine Raiders. LGD, 3 heroes down in their bottom jungle. They all farming together, holding hands. Arme gets the solo lane to get himself that experience he needs. Jinkyu with Y and nothing to say. I want to kill Amar again. It has been a tactic utilized by a lot of teams. Focus ATF. Remove him from the game.
Even Omni Slash.
Tilt the Viper out of the match. And Yuragi, well, he will come in to look for Jinkyu, but some good eye shots there. Now a Fisher blocking him between them. Traps the poor Tusk.
Yeah, this global presence, and yeah, Viper was off to a really good start in terms of CS. He had like 15, 20 denies, completely dominated the Jug lane, and now Jug is ahead of him. This is why whenever we mention Vipers, we say, you know, win the lane, lose the game.
The age-old saying that. Is it Faith Beyond just going to pop trees out and try and kill this tower? He doesn't have his urn yet, because his courier got killed previously with the urn on it. Yeah, he's looking for that tier 1, while mid lane being pressured by nothing to say. BZM and ATF
Available.
coming straight towards him. Oh, the heal from the Ench. Yeah, that's enough. Keeps him alive. Very, very speedy Wyvern. Dipping back and forth.
And while all this is happening, what you just said, Fate Beyond managing to kill the tier 1 tower on the bottom. Not usually the tower that falls, but still opens up the map, opens up the entrance to the enemy triangle.
Yeah, so far, a dead even game. OG, you're going to feel pretty good as OG, right? They're getting towards their item timings, and maybe here a chance on Arme, but he'll have spin in a second. Just kill the healing ward on the way out. Now, do you reckon OG are comfortable getting Bristleback super tanky? They've got Ember Spirit doing decently as well.
They are looking for that Aghanim Scepter timing, pretty similar to what Team Liquid did to them yesterday in game number 1. Because like once you play against Bristleback a couple of games, you also know how to play against it and how to play with it. Jinkyu ready to go.
Straight on to Seb. Shaker, fissured, sharded out. Hellbear smashes there. Give him a couple of punches from the Tusk. Does get off his wand. A little bit of healing to Seb, but
not allowing him to use Echo Slam. Yesterday in game against Liquid, I don't think we saw a single Echo Slam from Seb. He also didn't go for a Blink Dagger. I guess that's why. If you don't plan to use Echo Slam, you don't even need a Blink Dagger. He went for Shard, wanted to get Octarine Core later on, but the game kind of ended before that.
Actually, he was playing the outskirts of the fight constantly, wasn't he? Just sitting in the shadows.
Yeah, the problem with the Blink, problem with the Earthshaker is you need 3 minutes of free farming, and right now it becomes very difficult for you to get that.
Takes far too long. BZM down to half HP.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
On the run back, Ember Spirit's still scary when he's got his mana pool up. But he wants to continue farming towards the Maelstrom. And you do still have Seb here getting a bit of farm time. Gets given the mid lane. While Yuragi taking that bottom tier 1. And straight onto the Bristle. The mass TP's arriving from LGD.
That's a Spirit Vessel.
Yuragi, yeah, caught out here with a spin coming through from Arme. Yes, Yuragi will kill the Tusk. But with the Vessel on him, he should be dead here with a couple more touches. Oh,
nothing
no,
wrong here.
The creeps come in. Faith Beyond does claim the kill in the end.
Play balanced. Perfectly balanced hero. Took 4 heroes to kill him, plus a Spirit Vessel. He manages to get a return kill and barely dies. If that was Aghanim Scepter, he kills all of them.
Yeah. He demolished them all. He was alone down there completely. And he got the tower as well, didn't he?
He got that tower, yeah.
Healing power.
Sam spotting the edge.
Is under attack.
Yeah, kill that ghost. Finish it off. BZM and Tiger. Don't want to commit on a level 6 Enchantress. Would take far too long for very little reward.
Good positioning from Y, being able to break the smoke and keep Juggernaut alive. Now Juggernaut is recovering. He does have that Maelstrom, so gonna continue to farm up. Going for this new build on Jug, where you get full Mjolnir, you get the Shard as well, and then especially against the Bristleback, because there's gonna be a lot of instances of damage. Same goes for Viper, even Ember Spirit Shield, so it's gonna proc a lot.
I mean, we've seen another kind of shift in this build as well, with the Hand of Midas coming out on Jug a couple of times. You're not a fan?
I feel like every single time I see this Midas on Jug, it feels a little underwhelming, because this is also your farming tool. Sure, it gives you attack speed, it does give you like some extra XP, so the talents are pretty good when you go for Blade Fury Duration, Blade Fury DPS as well. You want to get to that like level 15, level 20. You get that earlier, but I still feel that's just my opinion. Probably I'm wrong, but I feel Maelstrom full Mjolnir is much better and much efficient.
Like 95% of the time, you would just get the Maelstrom instead. Oh, mate, like you said, heading towards that Mjolnir. Plenty of free time for him to farm away and try and catch up to the Bristleback, who had all those stacks made for him. LGD right now, though, playing into dire vision. Tiger and PZM holding the high ground, but Kotl dead inside the shards. Now the toxin's out there, though, and the poison attacks from ATF clears through the tusk. Don't know if they can catch PZM. Looks like Yi being hounded by Yuragi. The big punches coming out of the Bristleback with his bonus damage, while Faith Bian finished off by BZM in the back. So 3 for 1 there. LGD, again, playing into dire vision with no vision of their own.
A little too deep there. Also, they were really spreaded, so no curse coming in, no clutch curse. Juggernaut also bottom. If they need extra damage, Juggernaut definitely needs to join, and we can see some damage numbers coming up from Viper, and also 1800 damage from Ember Spirit.
Another curse though, and another solo kill attempt. BZM, a couple of 100 HP away from death. One more stun, one more hero there, he would have been done for. And that's now curse on cooldown. There's still more time for OG here to hit these item timings. The TP and the snowball in though, they want Seb real bad. Finish off the Earthshaker with a snap decision from LGD. Ice Shards also blocking Tiger away, but BZM of course has that remnant to safely slide up to the high ground.
OG still needs 500 gold to finish Aghanim Scepter on Bristleback, then they're gonna be ready to go. And also Keeper of the Light, level 7 about to hit, level 8 Chakra Magic will be maxed out, then you can play with both Ember Spirit, replenish his abilities, and also Bristleback. So you're gonna have it all the time.
Look at this Viper go. Yeah, he's destroying him. You know, 1v2 basically. Jinkyu finally dies. The nature though bounces back across ATF. Kills off the Viper while Tiger trapped inside all the trios. But the Fisher and the find from Seb and BZM. Now, Faith Bian, any stuns to come, they just get the damage instead.
This observer ward on the high ground revealing nothing to say. He didn't want to use Bottle straight away, and they blow him up, and they're going to do the same thing to Enchantress.
The bristle damage! He's doing 400 damage a hit. It's only 17 minutes in.
That's Aghanim Scepter for you.
4 heroes gone. And Amar, the only real casualty of war there for OG.
Middle tower is under attack.
At what point do you start wondering, should Arme be joining these fights, or is it okay for him to be off in these side lanes farming to his
He's
first
waiting
item?
for Mjolnir, needs 2 gold, literally 2 gold to be able to get it, and yeah, his next item seems to be SNY against Earthshaker, against Axe, heroes like that. You want him to break the combo, you want those stuns, disables to last less. Camp stack 12. Wow.
That's the 3k net worth lead. That's the 3k net worth lead OG has right there. Tiger setting it all up for them.
They also have double Force Staff on side of OG. By Force Staff I mean full pike on Viper, so this Tusk, whenever he tries to go on someone or block it with the shards, it's gonna be very difficult. They can also push people out of the Sprout and yeah.
or over a Fisher.
Yeah, or that. OG thinking about Roche next.
Yeah, we're grouping up around the pit. Faith Bian didn't have a tree in there, so he sees a couple of them coming. Yuragi not bothered at all. Stands his ground, batters away at Roshan, while LGD if they want to contest this, they've got to start scrambling quickly. Arme still down bottom though, doesn't seem like he really wants to get involved. Just going to give his first Roshan to OG and to an overfarmed Bristleback as well.
They're well aware of it, but don't want to commit.
Has fallen to the Dire.
Ame, gonna TP top.
Dire's bottom tower
Now he
is
comes
under
in.
attack.
Now ping in top. Looks like they want Seb again, but they actually move in towards
Oh,
ATM.
double force stab.
Gets him over the Roche pin away from the Omni Slash. Now the snowball back. Q will punch into Seb, trying to finish off the Earthshaker, but the Echo Slam, no, holds him out but still dies. Arme, found though, needs the curse to keep this Uragi Bristle at bay. PCM trying to chase, but running low in terms of mana, just has a sleight of fist and a few jumps left. Uragi's first life will be removed.
PSG.LGD, they're very happy how this played out. Only gonna lose Jin-Q.
Yeah, taking ages away from Bristleback just for that one death. Perfectly fine for them, especially when you've got a Nature's Prophet. Look at how quickly he's down in the bottom lane.
I'm forcing a rotation. They have a little bit of a global presence there. And Wyvern also with Boots of Travel. They're waiting for their next set of items. They want the Wyvern to have Aghanim Scepter, Nature's Prophet to have a BKB, and also Tusk to have a Blink Dagger. Because right now, every single time Jin-Q goes in, he's dead. With the Snowball, if he needs to commit, he's gonna die to overwhelming damage from Viper or Bristleback.
Good TP from Tiger. Yeah, nothing to stop him, isn't there? Now Faith Beyond out of Vessel charges. It's a little bit sad, a bit spooky against the Bristleback as well. That's one of your primary tools to deal with him. So they'll need to get some kills in the vicinity of Faith Beyond to get those charges
Radiant's
back up.
bottom tower is under attack.
And Almar attacks pretty quickly, hey? Throwing out these poisons
Double Raid Band, full Pike.
with a Vamp Race as well, yeah. Tiger just doing his job as the Cottle, sitting in lanes, clearing out waves, delaying any kind of pressure that the Prophet is trying to mount in any of these side lanes.
About to buy shard, so he will be able to bring an extra person and punish whoever's trying to split push.
Oh, that's great, yeah. I mean, the ability to bring BZM around, you know, Remnants plus that recall, incredible mobility. Coming out of OG. Arme, what is he? Yeah, got his Yasha, so halfway into that Sanjin Yasha. Not too far behind the Bristleback overall in net worth. It doesn't feel like he's had the same amount of impact just yet. But maybe as we scale and move into late game, that will pick up.
They tried to kill the momentum with taking ages off Uragi. Uragi also adjusting his item build, going for Lotus Orb on himself to be able to... If there's a Snowball, there's Omni Slash, good Curse, removing both Arctic Burn and Witchblade. It's a really good pickup. I see a lot of Bristlebags not wanting to buy it because they...
You want BKB?
Yeah, you want BKB, but if your team is not going to buy it, especially in a situation like this, you need to get it for yourself.
That makes a lot of sense. That's a great grab for him. Faith Beyond trying to find little pockets on the map where there's no OG vision and no heroes that can catch him. Spam out some treants, try and cut the waves. Delay, delay, delay. The tactics from LGD. Buy as much time as they possibly can. It looks like they are angling towards that top jungle though, as they can connect with Faith Beyond, play into that single observer ward they have out on the map. And there's the wave cutting to try and open things up for them as well. Curious to see what OG's reaction to this is. You know, if you see a Prophet wave cutting, then showing in the top lane properly. Are you going to bring heroes up here to kill him?
They want Seb, or if they can find Amar, but Amar might be a bit too difficult to kill with not enough lockdown, and they go on Seb. He doesn't have his Yule Scepter available yet. We'll try to go for the Fisher, but yeah, TP out. Oh, a bit of a grief there.
I holds Jin-Q in place. Now the Toxin and the damage from Viper stacks up. Yee slapped down from half HP. One swipe from Uragi. Close to 500 damage per hit. Untouchable. Be damned, says the Bristleback.
Yeah, he probably stole like 1 or 2 CS from nothing to say.
Oh, and BZM with Tiger. Down bottom lane, funds Faith Beyond.
This is why Shard is so good, especially pre-BKB. I think he had BKB, yeah, on courier flying to him, but didn't get it on time.
And that felt like a pretty nicely executed kind of bait, you know, trap set by LGD. They cut the wave, they move up, they smoke, they set up and ready for it. OG, you know, seemingly falling for the bait with Seb a little bit, but reacting perfectly to catch LGD on the retreat.
Also, one thing to point out about atomization and Uragi, usually you don't buy phase boots on Bristleback, you want to keep the brown boots, but since you're playing against Nature's Prophet and his shard, that's the way to get out of the Sprout, because you cut down the tree, the big tree spawns, and then you get through with phase boots.
Ah, yeah, that's a clever adaptation. You can no longer just buy a Quelling or have Battle Fury late game. Remember the days of Sven's buying Battle Fury against Nature's Prophet. And then you've got these shards, things much more difficult. Like you mentioned, right, the double force staff always going to help you out as well.
Bounty.
Manta style coming up for the Viper next.
Dire using a scan. They know something is up. It was probably BZM because he wanted to refill his bottle. It's only Y who picked up the hate rune.
Yeah, BZM there in towards nothing to say. Aghanim Scepter coming up for the Winter Wyvern, and same story for the Ember Spirit, as they both got the axe queued up. But is this a common build on the Viper, by the way? You know, the Wraithband Treads, Hurricane Pike, all makes a lot of sense. Going Manta into, I believe I saw Blink,
E-Blade.
E-Blade, yeah.
Amar thinks differently. It's great against Wyvern because he can save people, close the gap. He can save people against the Juggernaut, ulti as well. So making game very annoying for PSG.LGD. That's what he's doing, just being Amar.
Manta against Omni Slash, against Spirit Vessel as well. So it's not really like a Viper build, it's just him buying items for the game itself.
Exactly. BZM, they're trying to go on him.
Can they kill him though? He's out of there. Ember Spirit.
Very limited with stuns. They needed some kind of silence. Maybe we're talking about tier 4 items potentially. There's not going to be Orchid, but that you know, those tier 4 items, it's going to take a while until they kick in. By tier 4 I mean tier 3, and yeah, we'll have to see what happens, because right now it's very difficult for them to just go on Ember Spirit, especially with this Lincoln Sphere. So he is protected against the Winter's Curse, and now with the Blink Dagger finally picked up on Tusk, it's a little easier for them to go in, and also that's going to be another way of saving people. Fade Beyond, deeping top, wants to get some split push going.
Yeah, it's just been a beautiful flow from OG's game. You know, LGD have been relatively passive, making quite telegraphed moves, but every time OG sees an initiation or a gank coming out of LGD, they are there with 4 or 5 heroes ready for this big teamfight brawl. And then you can, you know, equally say LGD very good at reading the necessity to retract from these situations, get back to a defensive posture, but I'm just not quite sure when that spark moment's going to be, when LGD are fully ready to match up against OG. A second Roshan potentially coming up soon. 2 minutes until he spawns. Could be the next flashpoint for them. As Yi on this high ground in his own triangle, Fisher's flying out left and right, and Arme forced to spin quite early on here. Uragi.
No Omni Slash, he does not want to commit.
They have to fall back, you're right. And it's just OG poking and prodding, consistently forcing LGD to fall back and retreat from every fight.
If Ame had ulti available, he would definitely go in and try to commit, because he potentially can delete one hero, but we've seen what happened before. Double Force Staff, get him out of the trouble if one is not enough, and now they're chasing. Taiga does have Force Staff available, but gonna drop, and he also lost the gem.
Oh, he did as well, you're right. Gem on the floor, buyback from the Keeper of the Light. Roshan 1 minute away, but BZM still moving forward. Wants to play towards nothing to say. The Lincolns is popped. And Amar going for the TP out. Snowball and the Curse will cancel it out. As the Omni Slash in the back on the BZM, and Uragi takes them low, but no kill coming through for him as Amar dies on the staircase. LGD hold this triangle, and Seb, the next casualty here, will get the Echo Slam out, but still dies for his trouble. Faith Beyond coming out with a double kill, and 40 seconds until Roshan respawns. Unlucky for LGD.
Not ideal for them, but a great way to approach the fight. They isolate, first they proc the Lincolns on Ember Spirit with the enchant, and why he's not afraid. He's in the front lines being able to tank, soak up all that damage is like, yep, just go on me. I want to bait some spells, potentially, like get the Lotus Orb out. But yeah, just way they're spread around, and in the end, the Echo lands, but everyone else is way too far away. Seb trying to farm up his Blink Dagger, does have a Philly Stone, so that's going to help out quite a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yule's into Blink. Get himself some good items going for himself. He is the most farm support in the game, and with a Coddle on your team, that's honestly quite surprising. Usually the Keeper of the Light is the one that transfers into the position 3, basically, but he is the hard 5 here as Taiga.
When Seb is playing for OG with the new squad, Taiga is kind of playing 5.
Kneels before his liege. Yuragi unable to defend his top tower. Faithbian will take it down with his Treants. And Roshan scouted now by both teams. Alpha Wolf and the Earthshaker pop their heads around the corner.
There's also a new set of items for PSG.LGD in the next minute or two. We're talking about Scotty on Juggernaut and also Nature's Prophet with the full AC. So that's going to tank up the whole squad against the Bristleback, against the minus armor. Inside the pit they go.
And LGD have all their tier 3 neutrals as well, while OG only has one of them. Not farming out the neutral camps, instead trying to chip away at Roshan. First hit bash, and Missile Blade there. Good damage onto Arme, needs the healing
ulti
ward.
for 2 seconds.
Backup comes in the form of Yi's Enchantress as well, so plenty of heals for Arme.
Faithbian instantly goes to the top lane, trying to get some farm up. Has enough to buy full AC. Let's see if he commits.
Well, he's pushing,
going for it.
Pushing bot with Treants, pushing top with Hero, gets his AC, he's all over the place.
This percentage-based damage, like Bristleback's never gonna feel too comfortable coming into a fight. Emberspirit is it.
BZM straight in. Fisher comes with a snowball save, buys time for LGD to maybe turn the fight around, but the 2 supports now on the low ground. Pummeled down by Amar and BZM.
Double buyback.
In comes the Ember again with the DD rune going. They're focusing, nothing to say. They're splitting, trying to get away from this Winner's Curse potential, and they get the kill as well. A double for the Vibrant. Arme does pick up BZM. Spinning back to high ground,
Fisher.
and the curse arriving onto Tiger. The buyback from nothing to say gets them 1 bonus kill. Controlling Roshan, and this is a zone around it. Amar jumped and punched by Jinkyu. Snowball forward. What can Yuragi do? Lotus Orb in on him, but Arme is clearing up in the back lines. He's spun towards victory.
No buybacks coming out from them. No buyback on Ember Spirit. PSG.LGD, they're heavily committing. They want to secure this Roshan. They understand how important it is playing against the Bristleback. So only one who bought back on their side is Seb, and maybe Taiga bought back as well.
Taiga did 3 minutes ago, yeah.
So this is a free Roshan. A lot of commitment. They will give this Aegis to Wyvern because Ahmed doesn't feel like he's going to die. So far, he didn't die a single time. And there's also a shard, so that's going to be picked up by Wyvern as well.
Oh, that's a great shard upgrade. Splinter Blast coming out. All those cold embraces. Yeah, another very split fight, but the fact that LGD basically just hold their high ground, have that terrain advantage, and a triple buyback, you know, definitely helped out too.
Nothing to say, got heavily focused here by Amar. He used all of his mana with Fisher, also forcing a buyback. Nothing to say, we'll buy back and get a kill on Viper, but it's a lot of commitment, and one of the reasons why he is going for BKB, because that corrosive skin causing him a lot of issues.
And compounding the problems for OG.
Yeah, look at this. 2 dragons fighting against each other.
Then Tusk comes in and ruins the duel. Not a 1v1 anymore. And yeah, compounding the issues for OG was the fact that, like we said prior to that fight, Faithbian had pushed out both of the side lanes, so they're able to get themselves out on the map incredibly quickly. Sprout Leash's talent now up for him.
That's a big one. That's a huge against the Ember Spirit.
And finally, some tier 3 items from OG coming out of those neutral camps. Anything particularly good? Spider legs? Against the Prophet, always very nice to see.
Earthshaker also does have a Psychic Headband for quite some time, and finally has a Blink Dagger. So we might see a better Echo, a better opener. There's also a lot of stuff on the ground, like you can just cancel the Blink Dagger with 1 Mjolnir proc. It does have a Blink Dagger.
Oh, he does, yeah. I mean, that Blink Echo, potentially, you know, the tool they need against Arme, right? Pre-spin, they get the Blink Echo, chain stun onto him. But But they don't have that many tools to keep the disables going before he can get Omnislash out. This Earthshaker plus the Bristle's Abyssal Blade, really, as the primary ways.
Yeah, it's called a Bristle Blade.
Bristle Blade. I should have seen that one. I should have seen that one coming, honestly. Oh, jeez.
And now Nature's Prophet going for a little bit of a scale. Getting that Rod of Atos to be able to control Ember Spirit, who's not having a BKB. This Lincoln Sphere is not going to protect you against everything, so he might still swap things around. If he wins a fight, he's definitely not going to go for it. Why? In trouble.
And straight in, jump from BZM. Spin out from Arme, and the Healing Ward, plus Nature's Attendance. We've seen this from laning stage all the way through to now 33 minutes in, giving such a beautiful amount of basically burst heal at this point. But BZM and Uragi, they really want this Yi Enchantress. So they've got the Cold Embrace now, adding to their heal. Spin out from Arme, we'll find Tiger on the right side, and BZM, and he's dropping pretty low, might have to skip away from this fight. Still wants the Enchantress, well, Uragi BKB'd and run himself back with the spider legs.
Arme's ready to jump in with a Blink Dagger.
Well, they could curse him maybe here if they pop the Lincolns. BZM out, the rest of them TP as well.
That's Sprout. Arme was ready to go in on Bristleback because he knew Lotus Orb was still on cooldown. Blocked off Arme, he couldn't pass through, and Bristleback lives in the end. OG losing momentum. They were 10k gold ahead, and with the Bristleback lineup, having all these counters for him. We're talking about Arctic Burn, percentage-based damage, tag team is maxed out for a long time ago. Nature's Prophet does have a Spirit Vessel, and the Juggernaut, he can man-fight him now.
Yeah, tons of damage with the Skadi as well. Reducing that heal, slowing him, kiting him. The shift in win probability there we just saw. Very big for LGD as that net worth gap decreases further and further. It feels quite similar to what we saw from Asta yesterday as well, you know, against these earlier timing-based drafts and strategies coming out of some of the European teams. Now, a couple of these Chinese teams, Asta and LGD, very good at understanding that if they delay the game just, 10
minutes. And they know
minutes.
exactly how to delay the game. They went in, took the first Aegis where you want to take out all the tier 2 towers with the Bristleback lineup, potentially go for the high ground if you find an opening, but they didn't. They took that Aegis immediately, only losing Xin Q, and then game kind of shifted towards PSG.LGD. Even though it says 1k gold lead for OG, game's getting more and more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely is. And it's not just completely passive play either, right? LGD were taking fights on the enemy side of the map. We think about 15, 20 minutes in when they were playing top jungle. Even though they were losing these fights, they were still forcing OG to respond in situations and areas of the map that don't really favor them or give them an advantage. They weren't allowed to get close to the Radiant base, do what they do best.
Look what Y has queued up.
What is
36 minutes in. He's like, do I need to be more tanky? I'm getting a bracer.
All right. Yeah, just a cash bracer. He's got the blast rake, fluffy hat.
And they're also pushing out the waves with a lot of different stuff. Nature's Prophet ulti, TPing, then using Nature's Call, Y with his creep, and also Juggernaut using Mjolnir on a creep wave. So OG's never close to their base.
Yeah, just getting repelled across the river. They will smoke us 4 though. I want to make a meal out of this. Get a proper team fight going. Taking control of that Radiant Triangle, incredibly important for this Dire squad to access these tier 2s, access the enemy base. Get some good vision down.
Done on Nature's Prophet. That means you don't care about Lincolns on Ember Spirit, and he changed his mind. He understands after seeing that Rod of Atos that he will need to be able to protect himself. Very close. He needs another creep wave to buy that BKB.
He's got a couple up top to clear out. There's the BKB done. But LGD once more straight up into top jungle, forcing a fight in OG's territory. BKB forced from the Bristleback. And LGD, they go in, they poke, they come back out. Now they can think about round 2 if they spot someone out.
Baiting a BKB from Bristleback, that's big.
Faith Beyond. Well, he was thinking about TPing forward there. Saw on the mini-map.
Yeah, killing the courier. TP in. Value. Kill the courier, die.
Yeah, just go in. Get the job done. Don't care about the consequences.
Juggernaut hit level 25, something that we didn't mention. One of the best talents and the most fun one. Plus 475 HP. Very cool.
It's like the Spectre talents, isn't it? Like plus 5% dispersion, plus 500 HP.
That's a cool talent.
Yeah,
but this is just like straight. This is 25. It's straight up raw HP.
Here's your health, buddy.
Double damage bottom.
What is that? It's like 15% of his total health when he pre-talent. Penta-edged sword now for him. DD bottled, basher and backpack. Arme has overtaken the bristleback in net worth. A real true carry in this game. Roshan still at least 20 seconds away from spawning. But LGD get the D ward. Very important there from Yi to make sure there is limited to no vision for OG around the pit.
And still protecting their own horde. On the high ground, this is what gave them vision in the previous fight to get that BKB on cooldown for Bristleback, which is down to 7 seconds now.
Yeah, looks like Tiger did rebuy a gem, as the Enchantress had stolen his previously. Well, this is where LGD want to be. Just waiting for OG to come. And yeah, 5 seconds for Roche to pop back up. Ninja gear for nothing to say. Can't be found. And with Roshan alive and scouted by LGD, they're just going to waltz into the pit and take it.
Double damage on Jug, does have a basher as well. OG, they know this is happening, but how fast can they get here?
Not fast enough. There's no way they can traverse across the map quickly enough to get there. And they've given away their positioning there with a remnant chucked out by the Ember. They do get a bit of vision out on the map.
Aghanim Scepter now also done on Juggernaut, so having that Swift Slash, or Mini Slash that I like to call it. Just an extra tool to potentially, like, get some damage done and also get the bash during the BKB, Beta Force Staff.
Save yourself from an Earthshaker jump in as well. Re-grab that outpost down bottom. Oh, mate. He spots a small cap, so he'll go farm it.
Sebastian buying book for himself, wants to hit that level 20, extra Fisher range.
Oh, are we on first name terms now, are we?
That is a Sebastian.
Yeah.
Very close to level 20. That he can keep the distance then and not be found by Nature's Prophet. It's going to be all about using that Fisher multiple times.
He's leashed.
The leash.
Have they got enough to kill him? He's got BKB.
But the
Lincoln's popped. Still got the slight and the jump away. BKB utilised by BZM though. And he's got the flicker as well. But then comes the catapult wave with Arme. They're under dire vision, but we'll see what Seb can do here. He does have the ability to jump in and go, just launches a Fisher at them, while Amar focuses in towards the Enchantress for a little bit.
Efficient push. One Fisher, one blast from Keeper of the Light. Whole wave pretty much gone on bottom lane. Fate Beyond.
Oh, the chain stuns. He gets the spin out. Sanj and Yasha there allowing him to get out of that continual disable.
They saw Fate Beyond deeping bottom. They're like, we have 15 seconds. We'll try to poke, see what happens.
They're looking for BZM here. Faith Beyond invis. Oh, Jinkyu couldn't get the punch in time, but BZM might still get jumped upon. He's used his flicker already, trying to remnant and jump away. The big old snowball, not going to catch him. Does get shard blocked in though. One remnant remains. Incredibly slow BZM Ember Spirit trying to retreat.
They might still be able to catch him.
I think they might just have him. Flickers off a nice little dispel there, but in comes Faith Beyond again with a Sprout. Leash him up and catch the Ember Spirit. Down he goes, while Juggernaut has managed to disengage from the rest of OG.
And still holding that Aegis will pick up Arcane Rune. Ame, he wants to jump in. They chased him down for a very long time, forcing him to use all remnants. Does have buyback if necessary. Still, 2 minutes left on Aegis. I want to see PSG.LGD go for the high ground. Go for the high ground, get Fishered, get blasted by Keeper of the Light, stop.
Get Blink Echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, they want to take this very, very slowly and deliberately. There's still a tier 2 bottom that they can claim. No need to irrationally shove up high ground. You do have the jug with spin that can do a pretty good job here, but the Lotus Orb bounces the Swift Slash back onto him. He'll look towards Tiger with a Mjolnir.
And he's
Static
ready
charge
to go
bouncing in.
with
Nothing
the
to
big
say.
one.
Kills off Seb as well, and now the only slash the real one. Uragi killed off. Buybacks galore from OG. 4 of them returning to the battlefield, while Arme still has that Aegis. Seb is in towards nothing to say, but he's eating the cheese and gets the BKB out as well. LGD are able to reset while Uragi charges forward. Another Fisher out. Tusk stunned up with a bash too, so a couple of kills from OG in there.
Can he get out?
The retreat
No
out for
bash.
LGD successful.
Oh, this is perfect for PSG.LGD. Getting 4 buybacks out and also losing only 2 supports who have buybacks one more time. Big damage from Juggernaut.
Yeah.
7,000 almost. We like to round up the numbers, but yeah, he went in, forced that Lotus Orb, used the Swift Slash, and then when the Lotus Orb was gone, goes in with the full Omni.
And still has Aegis for a minute. Don't think they'll be able to use it for another
He's ready to go.
high ground push. The Scythe device, the Lincoln's pop to BZM, he's dead. 2 minutes with no Ember Spirit now.
Oh, Uragi's here. Still 30 seconds left on Aegis. Rest of the team is trying to connect.
He's just going to continue fighting this though, Uragi. Chases back Arme, the Abyssal Blade comes. Aegis, yes, it's there to be reclaimed. Seb wanting Faith Bian, who TP'd into the backlines. His BKB gives him the safety, and the Fisher blocked away Uragi, so no bashes could come.
Also,
Spin
Spider
out.
legs were not ready.
ATM. Lotus Orb on him. Scardy Slow's annoying, but Faith Bian is going to... Look, he's just TPing around from high ground to low ground. Look at me, I'm over here, I'm over there, and ATF jumped upon by Arme. And nothing to say. Well, White does get the finishing blow on him. So 2 heroes dead for a minute and a half now, and OG in a 4v3.
Yeah, no buyback on Viper. Does not have enough gold, and also Ember Spirit did buyback in the previous fight. Nature's Prophet did hit level 25, so you know that all lanes are going to be pushed in. Also, this Scythe of Vice pickup, plus a Trickster's Cloak, so he can initiate from Invis, whether we're talking about the Sprout, Gleipnir, or Scythe of Vice, the Leech mechanic, and the OG. They do have Fisher one more time, but that's about it.
Just don't forget about Blink Echo. That's the one thing that LGD have to have at the forefront of their minds.
Be ready. It's very difficult. He goes in with the Blink Dagger, Snowball Save, or just a casual 4-step. Ame wants to finish the game.
Yeah, they want these tier 4s. They know there's no Viper, no Ember. 30, 40 seconds on the sidelines for them. And he goes in with a quick Swift Slash and a spin. Oh, Uragi, down you go. So quickly falling for this Juggernaut's right-click damage. Still alive with his BKB and Lotus Orb,
ready to jump with Omni.
Oh yeah, Army. He comes in with a basher, clears up 2 more kills, and that's OG down and out. They will get the Yules up. Seb cyclones himself, but there is no safety from this LGD side.
Gary, did you just call it Omni Slash?
Omni Slash, I did indeed. Thank you for noticing.
That was a good one. In the end, a bit too difficult. They needed to close out this game, but PSG.LGD very disciplined and not allowing OG to go and like feel the momentum after picking up the first Roche. They did manage to take the Aegis off immediately and kind of shutting it down.
Yeah, just like slow and steady. Yeah. They didn't feel panicked. It was very calm from LGD, you know, the trademark LGD performance from them. OG, how do you combat this? How do you play